Beauty is more than what the eyes can see. True beauty is a reflection of the soul, the mind, and the depths of experience. It is not merely defined by appearances or fleeting trends, it is defined by presence, by poise, and by the habits that shape a person over time. A woman becomes more beautiful, not just with age, but with the wisdom she cultivates, the patience she nurtures, and the grace she practices. There are 6 habits, 6 transformative ways through which a woman matures into her most radiant self, and these habits go far beyond skin-deep charm. They define character, influence energy, and leave an unforgettable impression. The first habit is self-respect. A woman who respects herself establishes boundaries that protect her energy, her time, and her heart. She knows that her attention is precious, and she does not give it indiscriminately. This habit manifests in her interactions, her choices, and her demeanor. She does not chase approval or validation from others. Instead, she cultivates her sense of worth from within. When she walks into a room, she carries herself with dignity, and people feel that aura without needing her to explain or perform. Self-respect is the cornerstone of maturity because it creates a foundation upon which all other habits can flourish. It teaches patience in relationships, discernment in friendships, and strength in the face of challenges. The second habit is emotional intelligence. A mature woman understands that emotions are signals, not dictators. She does not allow anger, jealousy, or impatience to dictate her actions. Instead, she observes, reflects, and responds thoughtfully. Emotional intelligence is the practice of transforming impulses into wisdom. For example, when faced with criticism, she listens with the intention to learn rather than defend. When someone tries to provoke her, she remains composed, knowing that reaction feeds chaos, while restraint preserves peace. This habit not only makes her interactions smoother, but also elevates her presence. People are drawn to calm, measured energy, and she embodies it effortlessly. Emotional intelligence also allows her to empathize without losing herself, to guide with kindness without sacrificing principles, and to love with depth without attachment to outcomes. The third habit is lifelong learning. Beauty grows with curiosity, with the pursuit of knowledge, and with openness to experience. A woman who is committed to learning continually evolves, expands her perspective, and sharpens her mind. She reads, observes, asks questions, and seeks to understand the world around her. This habit transforms conversations, enriches relationships, and adds layers to her personality that cannot be replicated by appearances alone. Knowledge combined with humility creates magnetic charm. People are naturally drawn to those who think deeply, who see beyond superficiality, and who can navigate complex realities with intelligence and grace. Lifelong learning also instills confidence, as she knows her decisions are informed, her opinions grounded, and her mind sharp. This combination of wisdom and curiosity makes her not just beautiful, but irresistible in a timeless way. The fourth habit is mindful presence. A woman becomes more beautiful when she is fully engaged in each moment, when her attention is deliberate and intentional. She listens not just to respond, but to understand. She observes, not just to judge, but to learn. Mindful presence allows her to connect deeply with others, to notice subtleties, and to radiate calm assurance. It also enhances her appreciation of life itself. She notices beauty in small things, gratitude in ordinary moments, and joy in the simplest experiences. Presence is a habit because it requires practice. The mind naturally wanders, distractions abound, and external pressures compete for attention. But when a woman cultivates the discipline to stay present, she becomes luminous. Her aura communicates authenticity, and her beauty transcends appearances because it emanates from genuine engagement with life itself. The fifth habit is self-care in body and spirit. True maturity and beauty are intertwined with how a woman treats herself physically, mentally, and spiritually. She prioritizes sleep, nourishment, movement, and balance, recognizing that her energy is sacred. But self-care extends beyond physicality. It includes practices that nurture mental clarity, emotional stability, and spiritual alignment. Meditation, reflection, journaling, or connecting with nature are all forms of inner maintenance that elevate her presence. A woman who invests in herself creates harmony within, and that harmony radiates outward. Her energy is soft yet firm, approachable yet commanding, vibrant yet grounded. People notice the alignment of her body, mind, and spirit. And this integration of self-care into daily life contributes to a beauty that is both magnetic and enduring. The sixth habit, subtly interwoven with all others, is resilience in adversity. Life presents challenges, heartbreaks, and setbacks. A mature woman does not collapse under pressure. She adapts, learns, and grows stronger with each experience. Resilience is not merely endurance, it is transformation. She uses hardships as opportunities to cultivate wisdom, patience, and compassion. Her struggles, when approached with strength, add depth to her character, and this depth becomes a form of beauty that cannot be imitated or faked. People are drawn to those who rise gracefully from challenges, who carry scars not as weaknesses, but as symbols of growth. Resilience also teaches humility and empathy, making her relatable while simultaneously elevating her aura. When these six habits, self-respect, emotional intelligence, lifelong learning, mindful presence, self-care, and resilience, merge, they create a woman whose beauty is inseparable from her character. She does not demand attention, it naturally follows her. She does not need constant validation, she exudes quiet confidence. Her presence is felt in the room before she even speaks. Her beauty is a reflection of alignment between mind, heart, and soul, and as time passes, these habits compound, creating a radiance that is timeless, an allure that is unshakable, and a power that is undeniable. This journey toward mature beauty is not instant. It is cultivated through deliberate action, conscious reflection, and daily practice. Each day is an opportunity to reinforce these habits, to refine emotional control, to deepen knowledge, to strengthen self-respect, to enhance mindfulness, to nurture resilience. Over time, the results are evident not only in appearance, but in energy, influence, and the way people respond to her presence. Her beauty becomes a living testament to her discipline, her wisdom, and her ability to navigate life with grace. The truth is, the world often equates beauty with youth or superficiality, but the woman who embodies these habits challenges that perception. She demonstrates that beauty is an evolving quality, intertwined with wisdom, patience, and integrity. It is felt, not just seen. It is experienced, not just observed. And for those who practice these habits consistently, beauty becomes not something to maintain, but something to radiate, a reflection of their journey, their depth, and their mastery over themselves. For every woman aspiring to this form of beauty, the message is clear. Invest in your mind, nurture your spirit, honor your body, cultivate patience, remain present, and embrace resilience. These six habits will shape not only how others perceive you, but how you perceive yourself. And when self-perception aligns with conscious growth, true beauty emerges, profound, magnetic, and eternal. Beauty, as the world often defines it, is fleeting. It is seen in the curves of a face, the brightness of eyes, the symmetry of features. But true beauty, the kind that lingers in the hearts of those who encounter it, is born from the soul. It grows from strength, wisdom, and emotional maturity. A woman who possesses inner strength does not rely on validation from the outside. She carries a radiance that is visible, tangible, and magnetic. Emotional maturity is the secret ingredient that transforms ordinary charm into extraordinary allure. It is a habit cultivated, day by day, through conscious choices and deliberate reflection, and it has the power to make a woman's beauty timeless. Inner strength manifests first in the ability to remain calm amidst chaos. Life is unpredictable, filled with challenges that test patience, resilience, and poise. A woman who remains composed when others panic demonstrates a rare kind of beauty. Her calmness is not born from ignorance of the situation, but from mastery over her mind and emotions. She knows that reacting impulsively often escalates conflict, drains energy, and diminishes presence. Instead, she observes, evaluates, and acts with intention. This habit is magnetic because people naturally gravitate toward those who create a sense of security and stability. Her energy becomes a sanctuary for others, and her beauty is amplified by the quiet strength she exudes. Another aspect of this inner strength is the ability to let go of control over what cannot be controlled. Emotional maturity teaches a woman that not every opinion, every action, or every outcome is within her power to influence. She does not waste energy trying to manipulate others' perceptions or force outcomes that are not aligned with the natural flow of life. This habit of letting go fosters peace, reduces anxiety, and creates an aura of serenity. People sense the confidence that arises from surrendering to life's rhythm, and it is undeniably attractive. The woman who practices this form of strength commands respect without demanding it. She demonstrates mastery over her own mind, and thus becomes a natural magnet for admiration and trust. Emotional maturity also includes the ability to empathize without losing oneself. A woman who can feel deeply for others yet maintain her boundaries is rare. She understands that being compassionate does not mean being submissive or sacrificing her needs. She listens with intention, comforts with sincerity, and advises with clarity. This habit of balanced empathy enriches her interactions and deepens relationships. It allows her to connect on levels that go beyond superficial conversation, and this depth enhances her beauty in ways that appearances alone never could. When empathy is tempered by discernment, it becomes a form of strength that radiates authenticity, warmth, and magnetism. Another crucial habit is practicing gratitude and positivity, even in difficult circumstances. A woman who consistently focuses on what is good in life, who expresses appreciation for herself, her achievements, and those around her, cultivates a positive energy that attracts and uplifts others. Gratitude is transformative. It shifts perspective from scarcity to abundance, from fear to courage, from reaction to reflection. When this habit becomes a consistent practice, it creates a lightness in her demeanor that enhances her attractiveness. People are drawn not just to the way she looks, but to the energy she emits. This positivity does not mean ignoring problems. Rather, it reflects a conscious decision to remain aligned with hope, possibility, and constructive action. Inner strength is also evident in the courage to embrace authenticity. A woman who is unapologetically herself, who does not hide behind masks or societal expectations, is profoundly beautiful. She does not conform for the sake of acceptance. She honors her individuality and values. This habit requires courage because society often judges those who defy norms or challenge superficial expectations. Yet, authenticity carries a magnetic appeal. People are drawn to genuineness because it is rare and comforting. A woman who speaks her truth with confidence and grace demonstrates that she has mastered herself, and this mastery becomes a cornerstone of beauty. The alignment of words, actions, and inner values creates a resonance that cannot be replicated artificially. Furthermore, resilience in the face of adversity is a habit that magnifies beauty. Life presents trials, heartbreaks, failures, and disappointments. The woman who meets these challenges with determination, learns from them, and continues forward stronger than before radiates power and elegance. Her beauty is not just in surviving difficulties, but in thriving through them with dignity. People are drawn to resilience because it represents hope, courage, and the ability to transform pain into growth. When this habit becomes a defining trait, she carries a magnetism that goes beyond appearances. It is the beauty of a woman who has mastered herself and her experiences. Self-discipline is another pillar of inner strength that enhances beauty. A woman who cultivates habits that nourish her mind, body, and spirit demonstrates respect for herself. She invests time in reflection, learning, and self-care. She maintains balance in her lifestyle, prioritizes her well-being, and aligns her actions with her long-term goals. This form of discipline is not restrictive, it is empowering. It produces consistency, stability, and a glow of health and vitality. When her life is structured with purpose, it becomes evident in her posture, her energy, and the way she engages with the world. People instinctively admire those who have control over themselves and their path, and this admiration intensifies perceived beauty. A woman's emotional maturity also reflects in her communication style. She speaks thoughtfully, choosing words that uplift, clarify, and inspire. She listens more than she speaks, and when she does respond, it is with intention rather than reaction. This habit not only prevents misunderstandings and conflict, but also enhances her presence. People feel heard, respected, and valued in her company. Her beauty is amplified by the sense of comfort, wisdom, and balance she brings into interactions. This mastery of communication is not learned overnight. It is cultivated through reflection, patience, and consistent practice. Yet, its effect on perceived beauty is undeniable. as it fosters trust, admiration, and respect. Finally, the combination of inner strength and emotional maturity creates a magnetic aura of confidence without arrogance. A woman who possesses this habit does not need to prove herself. She is confident in her abilities, her choices, and her presence. Her confidence is silent, steady, and unwavering. It is reflected in how she carries herself, how she engages with others, and how she navigates life's complexities. This type of confidence is beautiful because it is grounded in authenticity and experience, not in external validation. People are naturally drawn to it, inspired by it, and comforted by its stability. It is a form of beauty that transcends the superficial, leaving a lasting impression. When these habits, calmness, letting go of control, empathy with boundaries, gratitude, authenticity, resilience, self-discipline, and confident presence, merge, they form the foundation of a woman whose beauty is timeless. It is the beauty of maturity, wisdom, and alignment with oneself. People are not merely attracted to her appearance, they are drawn to her energy, her aura, and the way she interacts with the world. This form of beauty is self-reinforcing. The more she practices these habits, the stronger and more radiant her presence becomes. In a world obsessed with transient beauty, it is this inner strength and emotional maturity that defines a woman's lasting allure. It is the depth behind her eyes, the serenity in her demeanor, and the resilience in her steps that captivates. These habits are not gifts but choices, daily practices that cultivate a woman who is not only beautiful but also wise, grounded, and magnetic. Over time, the impact is profound. She becomes someone people admire, trust, and are inspired by, not just for her looks, but for her essence. True beauty is never accidental. It is the result of deliberate choices, conscious actions, and cultivated awareness. A woman who understands herself, her strengths, her weaknesses, her values, and her purpose, radiates a form of beauty that transcends appearances. This beauty comes not from the superficial standards imposed by society, but from a deep alignment with her inner world. Self-awareness is the gateway to this transformative beauty. It allows a woman to navigate life with clarity, intentionality, and grace, creating a presence that draws people in effortlessly. The habits she develops, rooted in this awareness, shape her energy, influence her relationships, and elevate her essence beyond what can be measured by looks alone. The first habit that defines this maturity is reflection. A mature woman dedicates time to reflect on her experiences, emotions, and decisions. She asks herself hard questions. Did I act with integrity? Did I respond with patience? Did I honor my values? Through reflection, she gains insight into patterns of behavior, discovers areas for growth, and celebrates moments of progress. Reflection is not an exercise in self-criticism. It is a tool for self-mastery. By looking inward regularly, she cultivates clarity, wisdom, and emotional resilience. This habit enhances her beauty because it allows her to respond to life with composure rather than react impulsively. People feel this calm, grounded energy, and it leaves a lasting impression far more profound than surface-level aesthetics. Another essential habit is intentionality in action. A woman who is intentional with her words, her gestures, and her choices communicates a sense of purpose that is inherently attractive. Every decision is aligned with her values, every action reflects her priorities, and every interaction carries authenticity. This habit transforms ordinary moments into powerful expressions of her character. She does not act to impress others, nor does she perform to gain approval. Her presence is natural, deliberate, and magnetic. Intentionality demonstrates mastery over self, and people are drawn to those who live with purpose and clarity. It is a form of beauty that cannot be faked, copied, or manufactured. It is genuine, luminous, and enduring. Gratitude and appreciation form another pillar of her mature beauty. A woman who cultivates gratitude does not take life for granted. She notices small blessings, expresses appreciation for herself and others, and approaches challenges with a mindset of growth. Gratitude creates a sense of abundance and joy that radiates outward. It softens her presence, making interactions with her uplifting, comfortable, and memorable. This habit also strengthens resilience because gratitude allows her to find lessons and opportunities even in adversity. Beauty, in this sense, is not just visual, it is a vibration, an energy that others can sense, and gratitude amplifies it exponentially. Self-awareness also cultivates discernment in relationships. A mature woman understands the importance of surrounding herself with people who elevate, support, and inspire her. She recognizes negative influences, toxic dynamics, and energy-draining patterns, and she chooses to maintain healthy boundaries. This habit protects her peace and preserves her energy. It also enhances her beauty because it allows her to be fully present and engaged in meaningful connections. Her interactions are not tainted by frustration, insecurity, or distraction. Instead, they carry clarity, warmth, and authenticity. People naturally gravitate towards someone whose presence is stable, uplifting, and grounded. Emotional regulation is another key habit that heightens her allure. Life presents countless situations that can trigger frustration, sadness, anger, or anxiety. A woman who masters her emotions does not suppress them. She acknowledges, processes, and channels them constructively. This habit allows her to navigate conflict gracefully, support others with empathy, and maintain inner peace despite external turbulence. Emotional regulation is magnetic because it communicates control, maturity, and strength. People feel safe, respected, and inspired in her presence, and this safety contributes to her overall beauty. Emotional mastery transforms challenges into opportunities for growth and radiates a quiet confidence that is irresistible. Mindful communication is another habit that enhances her presence. A woman who speaks thoughtfully, listens deeply, and responds with intention communicates respect, intelligence, and warmth. This skill is not learned overnight. It requires observation, practice, and self-awareness. By choosing words carefully, she avoids unnecessary conflict, strengthens connections, and leaves positive impressions. Her voice becomes a tool of influence, not control, and her expressions carry authenticity. Mindful communication not only elevates her beauty, but also ensures that her energy remains aligned with her values, creating harmony in relationships and interactions. Self-care and nourishment, for both body and mind, are indispensable. A woman who prioritizes her well-being cultivates energy, vitality, and poise. She understands that her body is a vessel for her presence, and that a healthy mind and heart are essential to radiating true beauty. This habit is not superficial. It is deeply empowering. She engages in practices that nurture her physical health, mental clarity, and emotional resilience. Whether it is exercise, meditation, proper rest, or intentional reflection, her commitment to self-care strengthens her presence and enhances her aura. Others notice the confidence, energy, and alignment that stem from this dedication. A habit often overlooked is celebrating personal growth rather than comparing with others. A mature woman understands that each journey is unique. She measures herself against her own progress, not the achievements or appearances of others. This mindset fosters contentment, reduces envy, and allows her to shine without the burden of external pressures. Beauty, in this sense, is amplified by authenticity and self-assurance. People are drawn to someone who is centered, confident, and unshaken by superficial judgments, and this habit reinforces that magnetic presence. Finally, a woman who cultivates generosity and kindness elevates her beauty to a spiritual dimension. When she gives without expectation, supports without judgment, and uplifts without seeking reward, she radiates an energy that is irresistible. Kindness rooted in wisdom and self-awareness is not naive, it is deliberate, discerning, and powerful. It reflects her internal alignment and contributes to a presence that is nurturing, calming, and memorable. Generosity of spirit transforms ordinary beauty into something profound, leaving an imprint on the hearts of those she encounters. When all these habits, reflection, intentionality, gratitude, discernment, emotional regulation, mindful communication, self-care, self-focused growth, and generosity merge, they create a woman whose beauty is both internal and external, visible and invisible, conscious and effortless. She commands respect, inspires trust, and draws admiration naturally. Her presence is magnetic, not because she seeks attention, but because she has mastered herself, her energy, and her journey. Over time, these habits compound, creating a depth, aura, and elegance that is timeless and unforgettable. In a world obsessed with fleeting appearances, it is these habits that define the kind of beauty that lasts, transforms, and influences. It is a beauty built on intentional living, self-awareness, and alignment with one's highest values. It does not require adornment, validation, or constant approval because it radiates from within. People are drawn not only to how she looks, but to how she carries herself, how she interacts, and the energy she leaves behind. This is the hallmark of mature beauty, a blend of wisdom, presence, and intentional habits that make a woman truly unforgettable. True beauty is far more than skin deep. It is the harmony between mind, heart, and spirit, the alignment of actions, values, and energy. A woman becomes more beautiful as she cultivates habits that shape her thoughts, regulate her emotions, and refine her interactions with the world. These habits are not random, they are deliberate practices that reflect her maturity, wisdom, and self-mastery. The fourth keynote emphasizes that beauty is inseparable from inner strength, self-awareness, and intentional living, and it is this combination that makes a woman radiant, magnetic, and unforgettable. The first habit that enhances beauty through maturity is cultivating a positive and growth-oriented mindset. A woman with a growth mindset understands that challenges, setbacks, and failures are opportunities for learning and self-improvement. She does not dwell on mistakes or succumb to self-pity. Instead, she reflects, extracts lessons, and moves forward with clarity. This habit transforms her presence because optimism and resilience radiate energy that is deeply attractive. People are drawn to her because she exudes confidence, hope, and a sense of possibility. Her beauty is amplified not by perfection, but by her ability to rise stronger, wiser, and more composed after each challenge. The second habit is emotional intelligence in every interaction. Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand and regulate one's own emotions while perceiving and empathizing with the emotions of others. A woman who practices emotional intelligence navigates relationships with grace, diffuses conflict before it escalates, and responds to negativity with calm composure. This habit requires awareness, patience, and practice, but its effects are transformative. She becomes a presence that people respect and trust. Her beauty is not just visual, it is felt as an energy of balance, warmth, and understanding. Emotional intelligence allows her to inspire others, build meaningful connections, and influence her environment positively, which adds depth and elegance to her persona. The third habit is practicing self-discipline in all areas of life. Discipline is not restrictive, it is empowering. A woman who cultivates discipline in her habits, routines, and priorities demonstrates control over her life and energy. She invests in her body through regular self-care, nutrition, and movement. She invests in her mind through learning, reflection, and focus. She invests in her heart by maintaining healthy relationships and protecting her emotional space. Discipline produces consistency, reliability, and strength, qualities that are inherently attractive. People are drawn to those who live purposefully, and this alignment of actions with intentions creates an aura of elegance and magnetic presence. Another habit that defines mature beauty is mindful presence in every moment. A woman who is fully present, whether she is listening, speaking, or simply observing, radiates authenticity. Mindfulness allows her to engage deeply, notice subtle details, and create meaningful connections. She does not get lost in distractions, worry, or external chaos. Instead, she centers herself, aligning her energy with the present moment. This habit enhances beauty because it makes her approachable, grounded, and calming. People feel seen and valued in her presence, and her energy leaves a lasting impression. Presence is not learned overnight, it requires continuous awareness, but the results are profound, a magnetic energy that draws people in effortlessly. The fifth habit is embracing gratitude and emotional resilience. Life inevitably brings challenges, heartbreaks, and disappointments. A mature woman acknowledges her struggles, but chooses to respond with gratitude for the lessons and opportunities they present. She cultivates resilience, understanding that setbacks are temporary and growth is continuous. This habit allows her to maintain peace, optimism, and poise in difficult situations. Her beauty is amplified by the strength and calm she demonstrates under pressure. People are naturally drawn to individuals who face adversity with grace and learn from every experience. Gratitude and resilience are not just habits, they are lifestyle choices that mold character and energy, enhancing inner and outer beauty simultaneously. Another habit that elevates beauty is selective social engagement and boundaries. A woman who understands the importance of her energy knows where to invest it. She surrounds herself with individuals who uplift, inspire, and align with her values. She distances herself from negativity, gossip, and toxic influences. This habit protects her peace and preserves her aura, making her presence more refined and magnetic. People notice the difference immediately. Her calm, unshakable energy signals strength and self-respect. Her beauty is amplified because it is coupled with discernment, demonstrating that she does not merely exist in her environment, but shapes it consciously and gracefully. Intentional self-expression is another habit that enhances mature beauty. A woman communicates not just through words, but through posture, tone, gestures, and energy. She chooses how to appear, what to say, and how to react, aligning her expression with her values and intentions. This intentionality transforms every interaction into an extension of her character. People are captivated by those who act with purpose and authenticity because it signals clarity, self-mastery, and refinement. Her beauty, therefore, is experienced on multiple levels, not only visually, but energetically and emotionally. Finally, embracing self-love and acceptance is a habit that consolidates all other practices. A woman who genuinely loves herself, imperfections, and all radiates confidence, security, and magnetism. She does not rely on external validation to feel worthy. Instead, she nurtures her mind, body, and spirit with kindness and compassion. This self-love becomes visible in her posture, her energy, her interactions, and her resilience. It enhances beauty because confidence, rooted in self-acceptance, is enduring and powerful. She becomes a beacon of inspiration, demonstrating that true beauty is inseparable from self-respect, inner peace, and aligned action. When all these habits, growth, mindset, emotional intelligence, discipline, mindfulness, gratitude, resilience, boundaries, intentional self-expression, and self-love merge, they produce a woman whose beauty is undeniable, timeless, and magnetic. She does not need constant attention or validation. Her presence naturally draws admiration and respect. Her maturity adds layers to her allure, making her more captivating with every experience, every challenge overcome, and every conscious choice made. She is beautiful because she embodies wisdom, energy alignment, and self-mastery. In conclusion, the fourth keynote demonstrates that beauty is not merely a visual phenomenon. It is an integration of mindset, emotional intelligence, discipline, self-awareness, and intentional living. A woman who practices these habits cultivates energy that is not only attractive, but transformative. People do not just see her beauty, they feel it. Her presence inspires confidence, respect, and admiration. It is a beauty that grows with time, deepens with experience, and radiates from the inside out. A mature woman's beauty is a reflection of her habits, choices, and alignment with herself, a true testament to the power of intentional living and self-mastery. Beauty is a reflection of alignment between mind, heart, and actions. It is an energy, a presence, a resonance that others feel even before they speak to you. A woman's maturity transforms her beauty into something far beyond the physical. It becomes a magnetism that draws respect, admiration, and trust. The fifth and final keynote emphasizes that the habits she cultivates, the discipline she maintains, and the integrity she honors are what amplify her radiance and make her beauty timeless. The first habit that defines this elevated beauty is living with integrity. A woman who practices integrity aligns her actions with her values consistently. She does not compromise her principles for convenience, approval, or temporary gain. Integrity is more than honesty. It is authenticity, responsibility, and courage. It is reflected in the way she treats others, makes decisions, and navigates life's challenges. This habit enhances her beauty because it radiates trustworthiness and stability. People are naturally drawn to someone whose presence embodies reliability and moral clarity. Integrity creates a subtle magnetism that cannot be manufactured. It is a reflection of inner strength, self-respect, and maturity. Another crucial habit is consistent self-discipline. Discipline allows a woman to invest in herself physically, emotionally, and mentally. She establishes routines that nurture her mind, body, and spirit, ensuring that her energy is aligned with her intentions. Self-discipline is not rigid restriction. It is a commitment to growth and refinement. whether through regular self-care, structured learning, mindful reflection, or purposeful engagement. She demonstrates that she values herself and her journey. This habit amplifies her beauty because it produces stability, vitality, and an aura of calm control. People notice discipline not only in actions, but in presence, energy, and poise. The third habit is practicing deep self-awareness. A mature woman understands herself, her emotions, triggers, strengths, and weaknesses. She observes her thoughts, reflects on her experiences, and consciously directs her energy toward growth. Self-awareness allows her to act intentionally, rather than react impulsively. It helps her navigate social situations with grace, handle conflict with calm, and maintain alignment with her values under pressure. This habit creates beauty, because people sense the confidence and clarity that arise from self-mastery. Her presence communicates calm, balance, and intentionality, which are far more compelling than any external adornment. The fourth habit is mindfulness in every interaction. Mindfulness means fully engaging with the present moment, listening deeply, observing carefully, and responding thoughtfully. A woman who cultivates mindfulness does not let distractions, worries, or ego dictate her actions. She is aware of her energy and how it influences others. This practice fosters meaningful connections, enhances empathy, and strengthens trust. It also adds layers to her beauty, because mindfulness creates a sense of serenity and authenticity. People feel valued and understood in her presence, which makes her radiance both tangible and memorable. The fifth habit is embracing gratitude and positivity. Gratitude is transformative. It shifts focus from lack to abundance, from complaint to appreciation. A woman who habitually practices gratitude maintains an elevated energy that attracts others naturally. She celebrates life's small joys, appreciates lessons from challenges, and acknowledges her progress. Positivity, when combined with gratitude, becomes magnetic energy that uplifts both herself and those around her. This habit amplifies her beauty because it cultivates a presence that is warm, engaging, and inspiring. People are instinctively drawn to individuals who create joy and optimism through their energy. The sixth habit is resilience in adversity. Life is full of trials, setbacks, and heartbreaks, but a woman's beauty deepens when she faces these challenges with courage, dignity, and grace. Resilience is the ability to recover, adapt, and grow stronger from difficulties. A woman who practices this habit transforms challenges into lessons, disappointments into growth, and pain into wisdom. This inner strength becomes visible in her posture, expression, and energy. Resilience enhances beauty not only by shaping character, but by radiating a quiet confidence that inspires and attracts. People notice those who rise gracefully from adversity, and this enduring magnetism becomes an inseparable part of her presence. The seventh habit is intentional self-expression. A mature woman expresses herself thoughtfully through words, gestures, appearance, and actions. She communicates authenticity in everything she does, reflecting her inner alignment and values. Intentional expression creates clarity in relationships, reduces misunderstandings, and strengthens her presence. People perceive her as composed, confident, and authentic, which magnifies her beauty. This habit ensures that her energy remains consistent with her intentions, creating harmony between internal reality and external perception. Authentic self-expression is compelling because it signals confidence and mastery of self. The eighth habit is cultivating patience and humility. A woman who develops patience understands that growth, success, and recognition take time. She does not rush processes or seek immediate validation. Humility allows her to remain grounded despite achievements or external praise. Together, patience and humility create a serene, attractive energy that reflects maturity and depth. People are drawn to those who embody calmness and balance, as it provides comfort, trust, and admiration. Her beauty is enhanced because it is both magnetic and calming, a presence that inspires respect rather than envy. The ninth habit is fostering meaningful connections. A woman's beauty expands when she invests in relationships that nourish, support, and inspire her growth. She identifies individuals who align with her values, nurtures friendships with care, and sets boundaries with discernment. By choosing quality over quantity in relationships, she maintains her energy, focus, and clarity. Meaningful connections amplify her presence because she becomes a source of support, wisdom, and inspiration to others. This habit reflects emotional intelligence, integrity, and compassion, qualities that enhance beauty in ways that transcend physical appearance. Finally, the 10th habit is embracing self-love and acceptance. True beauty emerges when a woman honors herself fully. She accepts imperfections, celebrates strengths, and nurtures her spirit. Self-love is not arrogance, it is alignment with one's worth and values. When self-love guides her choices, she radiates confidence, security, and magnetism. People notice a woman who embodies this energy because she does not seek external validation. Her beauty is authentic, unwavering, and timeless. Self-love consolidates all other habits, creating a presence that is luminous, balanced, and deeply attractive. When these 10 habits, integrity, self-discipline, self-awareness, mindfulness, gratitude, resilience, intentional self-expression, patience, meaningful connections, and self-love, merge, they produce a woman whose beauty is profound, multidimensional, and magnetic. Her presence leaves a lasting impact, her energy inspires admiration, and her maturity deepens her allure with every experience. This is beauty that cannot be superficial, fleeting, or imitated. It is cultivated, enduring, and authentic. In conclusion, the 5th keynote demonstrates that a woman's mature beauty is a product of her habits, choices, and self-mastery. It is reflected in her calmness, clarity, confidence, and energy. It radiates from integrity, discipline, self-awareness, mindfulness, resilience, and self-love. A woman who embodies these qualities is magnetic, inspiring, and unforgettable. Her beauty is not limited to appearances. It is an experience, an energy, and a reflection of alignment between mind, heart, and actions. True beauty grows with maturity, intentional living, and mindful cultivation. And this is the beauty that lasts, transforms, and leaves an indelible mark on the world.